A very warm welcome. You're watching One India English with me, Anubhuti Gaur, and this is a special show for all the UPSC aspirants out there as the prelims exam is to be conducted on the 4th of October, and there's a lot of nervousness. Many of the students are panicking. The country is reeling under the coronavirus pandemic. There are two very factors there. So, in this special discussion, we are joined by Mr. Abhishek Sharma, who's the chairman of the Civil Academy in Meerut. Thanks a lot for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Anubhuti, for calling.
Yeah, so as you are the chairman of the Civil Academy, you have so many students under you. You've trained them for this big examination, UPSC, and there is a lot of nervousness. The students are panicking. So, how are you handling all this panic, all this nervousness around? What are the kind of queries that you are getting from your students at this point?
Anubhuti, at this point, I can remember my days when I gave my first films. It was the month of May, and I was having 102 degrees centigrade temperature in the month of May. It was the temperature of anxiety of exam. So yes, I can understand the condition of the students who are going to give their first attempt right now.
But
Yes,
but yeah, if at this point of time the students have the temperature, then it will be very problematic for them.
yes, yes. That is why we are here. That is why we are here, and we are
Yeah.
conducting this session. Actually, my mantra to the students is the most important thing is the self-efficacy. The meaning is that I can do it. The belief in you that you can do it. You can take the examples of several the past UPSC successful candidates. They are from the normal background. The main thing is they believe in themselves. They worked hard. They cleared their whole concept, and they know that there are chances. So this is not the last chance. So take it as your best chance. Give your best, but do not panic. Do not panic
Yeah.
for that. So
But
this
as
is
we
the
know,
main thing. Yeah.
yeah, but as we know that this is a very different situation altogether. Those students were prepared to give the exam much earlier. The exam has been delayed and now it is taking place on the 4th of October. So, of course, people have a lot of questions that whether it was better to give it before, now that the exam has been delayed, what if it won't go as good as they had planned? And also, people are very anxious about the coronavirus pandemic. Of course, uh, there are a lot of measures that are being taken, but apart from that, there is a lot of anxiety.
Yes, this 2020 has created the extraordinary circumstances for everyone.
Yeah.
Every sector is affected with the coronavirus pandemic, this COVID situation. And yes, the UPSC also postponed the whole exam pattern. But the student must believe in themselves in their preparation. They should keep this that the changes have made for everyone. The everyone has to give exam after 4 months. So
Yeah.
everyone is having the same time. Everyone is having the same obstacles, same problems. So yes, as a career wise, they might join 4 months later to the academy. But
Hmm.
if we aside this thing, everything is similar for everyone because it's a competition, and this competition is being done on the same platform for everyone. So yes, and now in this COVID situation, there are obstacles, there are difficulties to reach the center because UPSC cannot conduct the whole exam in every district. So yes, the
Yeah.
major issue is how they will reach the centers,
Hmm.
how they will manage the transportation system, because right now the transportation is not normalized. So there are challenges for the weaker section as well. The candidates from the weaker section that are going to give the exam, yes, they are facing the challenges. But yes, this is the demand of the time because civil service is the most important services in the whole in the administration of India. So we
Yeah.
cannot
So
delay. Yeah.
yeah. So as we know that UPSC is one of the toughest exams in the country. People have been preparing for years sometime and this is like the prelims. This is the first step. Then they will have the mains, then they have the interview rounds. So they have to have the energy to sustain for such a long time. They've been waiting to give these exams. So that is also one of the reasons why there's so much anxiety, because they've already waited for a very long time. And because of the coronavirus pandemic, it has been delayed. So given that these are the prelims and not the mains, so this is the first step which they have to clear in order to get to the main. So what are the kind of tips you would like to give to all those students out there when it comes to the prelims exams?
For the coming 4th October prelims exam, the last time tips from my side is, do not mug up the new things. Do not mug up the new facts. Believe in your preparation. Instead of mugging up the new facts and new chapters, what my suggestion is, revise the area which is good. Your best part should be revised, because there is a negative marking in this exam, and
Yeah.
this negative marking play a major role in the selection and in the disqualification and qualification. So you have to be very sure about your answers, about your options. So instead of searching the new stuff in the last 3 days, what my suggestion is, revise as much as you can. Give the multiple choice questions, practice on the multiple choice questions, and if you are doing mistakes in those areas in which you are confident enough, my suggestion is, please do revise once again.
So as these prelim exam will have two papers, so any important things that one should keep in mind with respect to the first paper and with respect to the second paper individually?
Yes, actually, the second paper is only of the qualifying nature. The marks you will get in the second paper, which is the CSAT exam, will not be considered in the merit of the prelims exam, but you have to qualify that exam. So first of all, do not take it lightly, because it is a qualifying. It is also qualifying, and every year many aspirants disqualified in the CSAT exam. So also take it seriously. Do not take it lightly. But but in case of general studies, the score of general studies will be counted in the merit of the prelims exam. So the general studies part should be revised, because the CSAT part is having the mathematics, the reasoning part, the reading comprehension part, which cannot be prepared in a span of 3 days, or which cannot be revised in a span of 3 days. But the general studies part can be revised, and you can gain some more marks with the revision of general studies, especially the current affairs part, the polity part, Indian constitution part, the history part. These traditional portions must be revised along with the current affairs in this last time, actually.
Yeah. So if we look at the exam pattern, has it changed in any way? What are the new changes that the students might expect this time around? Of course, they must have looked into the question papers from previous years, but what are the kind of changes that you as a teacher are expecting this
Yes,
time around?
very good question. Actually, uh, generally there is a tendency from the newcomer students, newcomer aspirants, that they mug up only the facts, and they more emphasize on the facts and the informations. But nowadays the UPSC has changed the whole pattern of the exam. They are asking multiple choice questions, and you have to choose multiple options. So in that case, they include certain options from the conceptual sides and certain options from the factual side. So only on the basis of mugging up the fact, you cannot solve the question. So there is a combination of concept plus the fact. So emphasize on both the sides, the concept part and the fact part, not only on the fact part. So concept building is must for to clear the prelims exam, and that is why now it is a popular saying in our field that if the aspirant is have not prepared his mains, he is he's not have he's not going to clear the prelims, because the mains is a conceptual part, and if you haven't prepared your mains, there will be difficulty in clearing the prelims as well, because prelims will also include so many aspects from the mains part as well.
Well, yes, that's very interesting there because I know a lot of people who are just waiting for the prelims to get over and they're deciding if the prelim goes good, then they will
Yes.
think about the main. So, how do you see about it as a teacher that a lot of students there who think that once they give the exam, it will be clear to them whether they are qualifying or not, whether they'll make it to the mains, and whether they should prepare for mains or not. So that is one
Yeah.
question lingering in every mind. So how do you answer that?
Yes. Actually, this is not the good strategy that prepare the mains after prelims. Think logically. There are only two objective papers in prelims. You devote your whole year in preparing two objective papers whose scores are not going to included in the merit final merit. But the mains, which is having the nine written papers, and in general studies itself having 14 subjects. So how you will cover the 14 written subjects of general studies, one optional paper, one essay, and one English paper and one language paper in a span of 3 months if you are preparing and you are emphasizing the whole year on the two objective paper? So this is not the good strategy. The 3 months preparation after the prelims for the mains, it is only to revise your mains part and prepare the new current affair part, like the economic part, like the science and technology, and the new current affair and international relation part. This 3 months is only to revise, not to prepare the whole new syllabus. So if you are going to this, if you are going with this strategy, this will not work for sure. You have to prepare your mains just before your prelims. This is
Also,
my side.
yeah. So also there's a lot of nervousness that's there. There are a lot of new aspirants who are preparing for the first time during these exams. Now there are people who've been preparing for a long time and this could be their second, third attempt. So how is it different for a person who's preparing for the first time and person who's appeared even before?
Yes, both have the different nervousness actually. The person who is going to appear third time or fourth time, he is having a different kind of pressure. He is having the peer pressure. He is having the pressure of neighbor. He is having the pressure of teachers, because this time I have to crack it. So there is a different kind of pressure on that guy, that poor guy, and there is a different pressure on the this newcomer. Actually, this newcomer want to crack the exam in the very first attempt,
Yeah.
but he or she has not seen the actual situation. So he's going to have the fresh experience. So there are certain nervousness. Both are having the nervousness, but the thing is, the experienced person, the experienced candidate, know the seriousness of this exam, the difficulty level of this exam, and the competition of the exam, because there are only 800 to 900 seats among the 8 to 9 lakh aspirants. So
Yeah.
this reality is well known by that older guy, but this new guy is going to face that reality. But the enthusiasm, the self confidence is more in the fresher one, in the
Yeah.
comparison of that third. But the experiences with the older one. So
Older.
both are having some pros and some cons.
Yeah, that's there, of course. But if you look at the topics, now of course we know only 3 days are left, and you cannot change the
Yeah.
entire thing. These are the 3 days to just relax and focus on the examination and not get nervous. But what are the kind of topics that at the last minute, at least, one should just look into at least one last time?
Yes. As I've already told you, the current affairs. The current affairs must be revised, because UPSC will add the current issues with almost every question, with the conceptual part of every question. The current affair of that area must be included. So it should be revised, because just because of lacking of that one line, you will lose your whole question. So one thing is the current affairs. The second one is, at the last time, if you want to revise the polity part, the Indian Constitution and governance part, the science and technology part should be revised. Because these areas are dynamic one, and less revised areas. Actually, we only study them once or twice. So in this last part, these areas must be revised, because sorry, one more important area is the environment actually. And right now, this COVID area, just the whole scenario of COVID, the vaccine part, the biological issues, the medical issues with the COVID, the do's and don'ts in the COVID. All these things related with the COVID must be revised. There must be some notes on that, because I think the UPSC will ask one or two questions on COVID.
Yeah. Of course, that is something that they've been reading about since a few months now. And if you look at the students that are pairing, of course, this was totally unprecedented, this entire situation. They had thought that the examination will be held much earlier, but it got postponed. But there are a lot of students who are not feeling well, who are kind of nervous about the coronavirus and who could actually have some symptoms. So they are in a dilemma whether they should go and give the exam or not. And also there's a question in every mind, what if I go there and get infected? Now that is something which is troubling everybody. And it
Yes,
is such a major life decision that this could be their only chance. So
yes.
how should a student in this situation, as a teacher, what do you tell a student?
Actually, yes, this is a very difficult question actually, because being guardian, I am also bothered about the things. Personally, I believe that the exam must be postponed. It should
Hmm.
not be on 4th of October,
Oh,
because the health should be on the priority. The life should be on the priority actually. So it's very difficult, and the person who is concerned about his health, but having the last attempt, what he
hmm.
should do at this
Yeah,
time.
that's the main question.
Yeah, and should be considered. It should be considered by the UPSC as well as by the Supreme Court also, when
Either they should
this
increase
matter
the
was
attempt.
heard. Yes,
Yeah,
it should be. Yes, at least one attempt should be
increase.
increased, because the attempt has been given in this pandemic situation, and the civil services aspirants are from all the areas. Right now there is a flood situation in Bihar,
Yeah.
and many village students, many rural students, the students having a rural background, they are stuck in that area. So it should be considered. It should be considered, but it's not in our hand. It should be
Yeah,
considered.
but the reason that they have given so far is that if they can conduct NEET and JE, and the students were losing an entire year if they would have postponed it even more. So with the civil services exam, at least those pairing will not lose another year. So this is the kind of reason that they have given so far. Of course, the health reasons are there. So of course, the future of the students is still at stake.
Yes, yes, definitely, I agree with you. The future is at stake. No, but this must be the personal decision. This must be the personal decision, and I think this decision should be taken by the guardians with the student actually.
So, what is
Because
the message you would like to give to all those students out there who are very depressed at this point of time, who are very nervous, and more of that, they are sad about the fact that, if they decide against not giving the attempt this year, and if this is their last attempt, and also people who are thinking that this would be their last attempt, as in like they would not put in any more number of years to prepare for this exam, because as we know, there are people who've been preparing for years. Minimum people give 2 3 attempts because it is
yes,
such a tough exam. So what is the kind of message you would like to, an assurance you would like to give to all those students who are really sad at this point of time?
actually, in my opinion, the civil services should not be the aim. It should
Hmm.
be the medium to achieve your aim actually, and it is one of the mediums. And this is not the end of the life actually, or the last goal of the life. It should be the starting point of the life. So
Yeah.
whether if there are certain circumstances that the certain aspirant is not able to give the exam, he or she must not be disappointed.
Yeah.
So there are so many officers that have left the civil services exam for the larger goals actually.
Yeah.
So do not get disappointed. Take it as a circumstances, as a situation.
Hmm.
If you want to do good in the society, there are several other mediums also. So take
Yeah.
your own decision, use your mind, use your logic. I always recite the 4 lines from a Hindi poem to encourage my students and to
Yeah.
boost my students. Can I recite those lines in
Yeah. Yeah.
Hindi?
Please. Sure. Go ahead.
या मैं अक्सर अपने स्टूडेंट्स को ये सुनाता हूँ और जब भी कभी भेजता हूँ उनको, मैं कहता हूँ कि मानव बुद्धि है प्रखर, मानव बुद्धि है प्रखर, पाने को सर्वोच्च शिखर, तू ही अपना भाग्य विधाता, करता जा तू श्रेष्ठ कर्म। मानव तू कर प्रयत्न, गर तुझमें है लगन, है दृढ़ आत्मविश्वास, तो मिलेंगी तुझको मंजिलें, सफलता का ऊंचा आकाश। तो दिस इज नॉट द एंड ऑफ द लाइफ, दिस इज द बिगनिंग, एंड दिस इज ओनली वन मीडियम। So if you have confidence, you will find out several other paths also, and there are state services exams also. So
Yeah.
later on you can give the state exams also, and if you perform better there, in few years you will get the same position which you can get earlier. So, but there are several other mediums. So do not get disappointed. The life is precious. Your family is precious. Your mother and father are precious. So think about them and then take any decision.
Yeah. So if we talk about the people who will be giving the exam, who are sitting there in the examination hall, so what is the kind of advice you would like to give all those people during the exam? What are the things they should keep in mind, and also how much time should they spend on each question? That is one of the major thing that puzzles a lot of people. Sometimes people get stuck on one question, or they get stuck on a number of questions. So how much time should a person spend on a question, then they just move on?
Yes, in this examination, in the examination hall, there are certain few tips from my side.
Yeah.
The one is, always mark the OMR sheet simultaneously. Always mark your answer on the OMR sheet simultaneously. It means many students do one thing: they mark the whole answers on their examination paper, and in the last 10 or 15 minutes, they fill the OMR sheet. But in that case, due to the lack of the time, they might fill the wrong options.
Yeah.
During the hurry, or they will not be able to fill the whole OMR sheet. So what my suggestion is, solve the question and simultaneously fill the OMR sheet. One thing. The second thing is you, first of all, just go through with the whole paper with the जैसे हम कहते हैं, एक बार पेज पलट करके देखिए, वेयर इज योर कॉन्फिडेंट एरिया, कहां पर आपका एरिया, बिकॉज देयर आर सो मेनी सब्जेक्ट्स इन जनरल स्टडीज एंड एवरी स्टूडेंट इज नॉट गुड इन एवरी सब्जेक्ट. सो होता क्या है कि इनिशियली अगर आपको अब वो एरिया मिल जाता है जो एरिया आपको नहीं आता, तो फर्स्ट आपने एक क्वेश्चन किया, दो क्वेश्चन किया, तीन क्वेश्चन किया, आपको नहीं आ रहा है, आपका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल नीचे जाने लगता है. तो आप क्या कर सकते हो, एक बार पेपर को देखो जल्दी से इन 1 or 2 minutes, और आपको वो एरिया दिख जाएगा कि इफ ज्योग्राफी इज गुड, योर इकोनॉमी इज गुड, और योर पॉलिटी इज गुड, तो पॉलिटी के जो क्वेश्चन होंगे, यू कैन स्टार्ट योर पेपर फ्रॉम दैट एरिया. उससे होगा क्या, आपका क्वेश्चन पेपर जो है, आप जब क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करोगे बहुत अच्छे से, तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट होने लगेगा. एक चीज. द सेकंड थिंग इज, if you are having if you are feeling that the question paper is tough, think that the aspirant who is sitting just beside you is also facing the same problem. He is also he must also having the same feeling that the question paper is tough. लेकिन हमें लगता क्या है कि ये क्वेश्चन पेपर मेरे लिए टफ है, बट वो बराबर वाला बता नहीं रहा है, उसको भी टफ है. तो पैनिक मत हो, कॉन्फिडेंस को लूज मत करो, क्वेश्चन करो, आगे बढ़ो, आपको आपका एरिया मिलेगा जिस एरिया में आप अच्छा कर सकते हो. तो इसलिए उस पेपर में सबके लिए सब कुछ ना कुछ होता है. तो आप डिफिकल्ट एरिया से आगे बढ़ जाओ, और जो एरिया आपका कॉन्फिडेंट एरिया, उस पर क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करना स्टार्ट करो, और वापस उस एरिया पर आकर ही क्वेश्चन करो. एक और मेरा सजेशन है, डू नॉट गो ब्लाइंड इन द नेगेटिव मार्किंग सिनेरियो. Do not mark blindly. Do not mark blindly. If you are 75% confident, it means if you are confident about the 3 options out of 4, then take the risk. But if you are not having any idea about the options, about the answer, do not mark the answer, because do not take the blind risk. वो आपको ज्यादा नुकसान करता है. बट इफ you are confident, you are more than 50% confident about the answer, go for that, because there is a 1/3 negative marking. So अगर आपने वो आगे रिस्क लिया तो भी 1/3 के साथ एक इस तरीके का कॉम्बिनेशन बनता है कि आप पॉजिटिव स्कोर ही कर पाते हो. बट ब्लाइंड में क्या होता है कि आप नेगेटिव चले जाते हो. तो ब्लाइंड क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व मत करो. नहीं आता तो फिर मत करो. बट अगर 50% से ज्यादा आता है, गो फॉर दैट.
Yeah. So any last message? It was a pleasure having you, but any last message that you would like to give to all the students? One message.
Only one message there. You for different categories, UPSC provides several chances. UPSC provides 6 chances for general categories, and more chances, more chances for other categories also. So this is not your last chance. This could be the last chance for some aspirants, but for many aspirants, this is not your last chance. So do not panic. Have a confidence in you. Have a confidence in you, and believe in your preparation. And if you are lacking, in your preparation, no issue. Prepare once more, and you can give the exam. You can give the exam next year also. So do not panic, and believe in you, and keep the hard work on. That's it.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for joining us. It was a wonderful discussion. I hope all the points made in the discussion were very useful to all those people watching us, and all the best to all the UPSC aspirants. Do well and stay safe and take all the measures to prevent from catching coronavirus.